Welcome to Board Ghost, a story broadcast with games as the engine.
If living is a highway, then heaven is a bus stop. Been waiting for a minute there, or has it been forever?
We believe you're out there, hungry for stories for shared experiences. We can't see you, can't hear you, yet we will play for you. This night's offering is Fiasco. We're continuing our game using the Hollywood Hospital.
Though we're not actually playing in Hollywood, which I think is hilarious. We just sort of left that behind.
Yeah, Hollywood is more the fact that it's the TV
It's a TV dream version of a hospital. That's true.
Very Scrubs-esque.
It's Scrubs.
I'm one of your humble players, John Holt. With me is
Ken Breeze at Burling's Beard. What's up, y'alls?
Hey, and this is Tiffany Cook at Tiffany E. Cook.
All right, welcome back. So we'll go through who our characters are in our grid.
Let's meet our characters.
All right, so I am playing Nurse Gunner Boyd, a nurse practitioner. He is a 31-year-old Oklahoman, rides in a pickup truck, and loves birthing babies.
Loves birthing babies.
He wants
Loves
to
it.
get in there and help them out.
But he's got some trubs. He's got things going on in his life.
Yeah, some. I mean,
I don't know.
One of his troubles is his relationship with his supervisor. He is a set upon underling, perhaps. He shares a need with Nurse Paddles, his supervisor, Ken's character, to get rich by selling a black market kidney. And up to this point, he has been convinced to join in that venture. And
the kidney has been procured.
Yeah, and in the setup to that, he feels he may have made some waves or made some movement in his one-sided friendship with Dr. Sarah Smith.
And I am Ken Breeze. I'm playing Clyde Paddles, Nurse Paddles. Nurse Paddles he's like in his mid-30s. Think of like Chris Farley's brother. That's sort of what he looks like. He's husky, balding, blondish, blue-eyed, sort of a jovial fellow, if you will. Big arms, forearms. He's the resident nurse, the RN, at Reservation Hospital. And unfortunately, Nurse Paddles, suffers from crushing debt because of all the schooling he went to and all the time he wasted in school to get his resident nurse status. Luckily, he is the supervisor of all the nurses at the hospital, including Nurse Boyd. And because of his crushing debt, he's trying to get rich. Unfortunately, a scheme that he had going on earlier with Dr. Sarah Smith to provide abortions on the side went belly up, if you will. And the supervisors found out about it, especially the chief of staff of the hospital. And so Nurse Paddles is on the shit list. Luckily, he didn't get fired, but he's definitely on the shit list. But he's hankering for that green, meaning money, and he's trying to find another way to it.
And Dr. Sarah Smith is the director of OB-GYN. She's 43 years old. She is originally from San Francisco, and she is basically like really on the career track. Definitely has no partner, no children, doesn't want to get married, is all about like really working her way up. She would love to be the chief of medicine. That's pretty much her dream goal. You know, in order to kind of get some of that experience, she took on this directorship job. She has no idea what she's doing in Oklahoma, but, you know, this was a way to like kind of work her way up. She's really passionate about making sure that there's access to abortion in this like rural town, and that's kind of basically how things went south because they were, for lack of a better word, stealing space in the hospital. And so that's how she brought Nurse Paddles into things. And for nurse practitioner Boyd, she's a little terrified of him. He seems to like have some interest in OB-GYN, but she's like really worried that like his religiosity is like gonna get in the way of like her being able to do like the best thing for her patients, because sometimes she does a lot of things kind of like under the table to make sure that everybody gets the care that they want.
We also have some tilt elements on the table.
And this is using the soft tilt.
That's
so
right.
We have this is a little less, I guess, on fire and deadly. So we have a quotable tilt. I swear to God, I have no idea what happened. And a violence tilt, an old-fashioned ass-kicking.
Nice. Both of those definitely seem like you could slot in real easy. John, do you want to just tell us the grid
Sure.
once again?
Yeah, we'll walk through it. So between my character, Gunner Boyd, and Ken's character, Nurse Paddles, there is a work relationship, supervisor and underling, which is tagged with Daydream, which is specific to this playset.
That's right.
We also have a need to get rich by selling a black market kidney. That's between us. Between Nurse Paddles, Ken's character, and Tiffany's character, Dr. Sarah Smith, there is a hospital relationship on the chief of staff shit list, and an object, a deadly, filthy, germy-used handkerchief lying on the floor, which is also a daydream tagged item.
Definitely.
And between Tiffany's character, Dr. Sarah Smith, and my character, Gunner Boyd, we have a friendship relationship, a totally one-sided friendship, which is also tagged with a daydream. And then we have a location, a patient area, the deluxe, out-of-your-mind Mac Daddy birthing suite. So that's our grid.
Love birthing babies.
Pretty wild. So let's roll right into it.
Let's roll right into it.
Camera's panning slowly across these plastic bassinets. It's the observation area, and you see all these babies lined up, kind of like wiggling and mewling and making little noises. And leaning on the window just outside, wistfully staring at the babies, is Gunner Boyd.
Good old Boyd.
He's munching on half a sandwich and just checking out all the babies.
Cheese sandwich.
Mm-hmm. He's sitting there just kind of looking at the babies when he hears the sharp stab of Sarah Smith.
Ooh, her heels.
And my heels.
Well,
mules?
they're sensible
Her
flats.
sensible flats.
Sensible flats.
for nurse and doctoring.
Really, it's just the pound, pound, pound of that like anxious, quick step of a doctor.
Mm-hmm. and I recognize it, and I'm a little anticipation, but also from our recent encounter, a little like trepidation. Kind of look up and swallow down my half a cheese sandwich bite that I just took.
This is a great point for a dream. What dream sequence happens right now? I feel like there's a dream meeting and a reality meeting.
Okay,
how does
so
the dream meeting manifest?
So I'd say in his daydream,
Yes.
Sure, he's an idiot. She like floats up,
Yeah.
and says, "Oh, Gunner, I can't believe
She
what
like
you
has
just
angel
did."
wings.
Yeah, she kind of like floats over. That the hospital said that we can have this baby, and she like hoists the like still like ichor covered
baby.
of the really post birth that he's like, and they both kind of like lean in for a kiss, smushing the baby between them, and then that's when it cuts, and she's like right in his face, Boyd, what are you doing? Get back to work. Well, hey, should you be up and about? You hit your head pretty hard in there.
I'm just fine. Get out of here. I don't know what you're doing looking at these babies. I'm real tired of this shit.
Hey, whoa, calm down there. Listen, these are God's beautiful creatures. Look at these little things.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Can't you get over this bullshit religion crap? God, I'm so tired of it down here.
You know what? We did a miracle today. We saved a baby's life. The mother was gone for, and we saved a baby.
Yeah, and the mom still died. What of that? Your God didn't take care of that.
He did. He has her. He took her up in his arms. She's healthy, sitting by the right hand of God.
Most of her.
And now we have a baby without a mom. Sure. That's real helpful.
God
real
will
helpful.
provide for the baby.
Really? You think that's what's gonna happen? This baby's gonna wind up in foster care.
Oh, there are all kinds of good, well-meaning people who just would love a little baby.
Would you really like me to get into the health disparities of Native American folks? Because you and I both know that this poor kid is set for a life of misery at this point.
Oh, no one's going to be miserable to this little angel. Look how happy he is sitting there in that bassinet.
I feel like you're completely tapped out of reality, Gunner.
Oh, I have all the reality I need right here. And he pulls out his little like cross on a gold chain.
And she kind of rolls her eyes at him and gives him this face of like, really? Really, that's the thing you're going to pull out right now? And she's like, oh, yeah, enjoy that. That's not going to get you super far in life.
You say that now, but do you ever read The Secret?
Oh, God, please tell me you're not into that bullshit. They can't even get quantum physics right in this world.
Oh, it's good. Listen, you just got to put good energy out there, good prayers, good thought, and it'll all come back to you all, like, glowing and good.
Well, good thoughts aren't going to bring that mom back, and they certainly aren't going to help make this baby have a family again. So there's that.
Well, how's this going to go for Gunnar?
It seems like it's going pretty damn bad for Gunnar.
All right. He's like, I think you're wrong. I think this baby's going to be all right.
And just as he says that, the baby
starts to code.
Starts to code, yeah. It's pretty awful. Yes. So we hear like it's not really the baby codes, but instead we hear all of the like beep 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 beep, like urgent. And I like grab my stethoscope and run into the room, and I'm like, and I give him this like nasty look, like how fucking dare you jinx that shit, and then I start to work on the baby.
I would love for you guys to set up a daydream for me. I think this is going to be a supervisor underling daydream. Nurse Paddles is not the biggest fan of Nurse Boyd.
I think Paddles is like it starts like the daydream starts on Paddles like opening a lunch bag.
Okay. Yep.
And he reaches in and pulls out like this larger than the bag sandwich. Like this, like just glistening, like full of fresh ingredients.
Okay.
And we pull out more, and he's got these rings on his fingers, and he's wearing a toga.
Yeah.
And he's on a palanquin, and carrying it are on either side are these like sweating, like straining, wearing nothing but like ratty, filthy loincloths, Boyds.
These Boyds, of course.
Just carrying him through the hospital.
They have their ragged like scrubs on. They have some ragged scrubs on.
But they're just like straining under the weight
definitely.
as you sort of point him down the hall.
Definitely. I'm sort of having this lovely daydream.
So you come upon like sort of looming as sort of the palanquin stops, and there at the end of the hall is the chief of staff.
Right. That's right.
So then how does this go?
That's right. And so what happens is that basically it's this very pomp and circumstance scene where the Boyds are kneeling down and like a golden staircase sort of rolls out from the palanquin that I sort of very ostentatiously come down holding the sandwich in both my hands, almost like a baby holding the sandwich. And as I come down to the chief of staff, I genuflect in front of them and offer them up this sandwich, almost like in a sort of reverent sort of a prayer almost. And that's when I guess it's going to go poorly for me, because I think I wake up and I am in the cafeteria and I have fallen asleep on top of a ice-packed, wrapped human kidney that I am on top of, and that's sort of where I wake up.
Well, how does the daydream manifest itself?
I'm eating the kidney. I'm like eating it.
Like you were.
I'm like gnawing on the kidney.
Cuts out of the
thing.
I'm
like gnawing on the human kidney as I wake up.
Does anyone witness this?
Yeah. Who else? Weren't you guys in the cafeteria? Weren't you in the cafeteria?
Well, yeah. I mean, that, or you could also, this is where the chief of staff sees you doing that.
Yeah, exactly. And the chief of staff sees me eating something, some weird blood-stained something. Yeah, I think that's right. As I look up, I see the chief of staff across the room, like looking at me, and I'll say, "I swear, I have no idea what happened."
Dr. Smith is like kind of irritated by this like whole situation that happened with Boyd. This baby is like now on dialysis and is like has to have like constant supervision, is like really just like really sick, and is like so pissed that he jinxed this baby. So she's starving. She's been working on this baby for like a couple hours now. So she walks into the cafeteria, and as she like pushes open the door, she's so like used to carrying herself in a way that like everybody looks at her, that everybody kind of looks up, and she's like not noticing this as she's kind of like strolling in, and she like heads off to the cafeteria to grab her salad. And through this process, of course, as everybody kind of looks up at her, the chief of staff sees her and bolts to her. And she's kind of not paying attention, is grabbing her food, and he checks in with her for a minute about what's happening.
There are some reports I'm going to need you to sign.
All right. Tell me more about them. I'm just going to grab some food, and then I'm happy to.
All right. Well, they'll be the official record of our investigation.
What was decided the official record would say?
Well, I thought losing you wouldn't be the best.
Thank you for that.
I fought hard for you, and I want you to know you have my full confidence.
Thank you so much for that, sir. I really appreciate it.
You can tell he's lying, like he super didn't fight for you and like probably fought against you.
Totally.
And is like...
But she's totally kissing ass because she wants to be able to like, you know, actually get somewhere. Well, I super appreciate that, sir. I won't let you down. Is there anything else?
What happened with that mess in the birthing suite today?
Oh, God, don't get me started. Everything about that case is just complete chaos. We lost the mom.
You're damn right you did. We haven't been able to find her body.
What? Excuse me? We sent her to the morgue hours ago.
She's not there, and the paperwork's missing. You better find that corpse, Smith.
Fuck.
And he's like walking away, eating some celery.
Yeah, and she's muttering
going bad.
fuck under her breath.
Going bad.
Going really bad. So,
right, John? Is that what you chose?
Yeah.
Sure. Bad's good.
That is good.
So she like kind of mutters fuck under her breath, and then somebody like kind of next to her as she's grabbing some food had like overheard and whispers, "Did you see what Nurse Paddles was munching on a couple minutes ago?" And she looks up and goes, "What?" I'd go check in with Nurse Paddles.
Dun dun dun.
Cutscene.
Gunner is stressed out, and he's like, you know what? I just need to relax. We kind of smash cut to him opening the doors to the OBGYN, and it's totally empty. Like, it's cleaned out. Everything's been scrubbed down. The faucets are pouring in to fill the tub, and there's bubbles in there. It's like a bubble bath, and he just like disrobes.
Of course, he needs to relax.
And just sinks into this hot tub and just kind of lays there.
Even good old Gunner needs a rest every now and again.
He's just like, he's wearing nothing but that little gold cross.
That's all.
When
just like when he was born.
And the daydream breaks out with Dr. Smith busting open the doors.
Ba-boom.
And he's actually there laying in this like tub.
Yeah.
Just kind of like, as it's not quite big enough for him to fully like stretch out in, but he's definitely nude, laying in this tub in like about 6 inches of water.
Yeah.
Looking straight up at
Dr.
Smith.
And she turns to Boyd and says, "What the fuck are you doing in there? Get the fuck out!" And like she tosses him some like whatever like linens or just like on the bed and like turns away. In his daydream.
Oh no, but this is out. This
is
like
out, right?
Reality.
This is like in reality. This is in reality. I was gonna say I thought we were in reality.
Oh, hey, I'm sorry about this. I just had to blow off some steam. Get
in the steam.
Get to where the nature happens.
Look, I don't really care what you do in your off time, but I need some help. We're missing a body. Jane, she's missing. I just got talked to by the chief, and I'm not going down for this shit. Have you seen the body? Do you know what happened? I asked y'all to take it to the morgue a while ago. I'm not sure who took it because I was stuck in bed.
Yeah, well, so here's the thing, all right? I was thinking, you know how...
She raises her eyebrows.
Listen. You got to understand, like, the body is just the discarded bits, right? Like, the soul's up there. It's gone. It's out, right?
Yeah, that's not what's going to work for the paperwork or for the family. Oh. So I need to know where that body is before the chief literally serves my ass on a platter.
All right, well, come with me. And we go down, like, into the boiler room.
And along the way, I'm like, where the fuck are we going in my head? I've got like really creepy,
it gets like really dark.
Daydream / nightmare stuff going on in my brain, thinking that I'm like headed into like the depths of hell as this is happening.
This is, I mean, you remember Nurse Sue? Man, we would come down here and make out. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. Hey, yeah, so right around here, where did I do it? Which of these? Okay, yeah. He pulls out like 2 or 3 rolled up mattresses, and like he kind of like cuts the twine on one, just big, empty, dirty old hospital mattress. Pulls another one out, cuts the twine on that. I just can't figure out which one of these was it.
Hijinks.
You're telling me you stuck a body in one of these dirty ass old mattresses?
Well, I mean, I wasn't not solo. How's this gonna go?
Yeah.
It goes well.
All right.
It's your scene.
Oh yeah,
it's her scene.
No, it's his.
Oh, it is your scene.
Yeah, we're past it. It says that.
Oh yeah.
He's like, well, you know, I mean, I have no idea. This was all Nurse Paddle's idea. You know what? Let's go grab him. He'll help you figure this out. This is just too much trouble for me. This is stressing me out. I'm just gonna go soak for a bit. All right, I'll see you later. And he's already kind of unbuttoning his shirt again and like walking up.
And she just kind of like stares like stunned as he like walks away, like the audacity of this dude, like just bouncing off as like, oh, no big deal.
He does
like,
have a nice butt.
Yeah. She might notice that, but really she's just pissed at this point because she's like, here goes this
She's
guy.
like, there's this warring, like pissed but interested in the butt, but
yeah,
pissed.
but like, okay, so like ass cool,
I like
great.
to watch you walk
but
away.
like, yeah.
Smash cut to margaritas clinking as we're like we're obviously in like a shitty like Mexican or pseudo Mexican restaurant. Nurse Paddles is there in his street clothes, though he's still wearing his Crocs, and it looks like he has his scrub pants on. He's just like has a leather jacket on or something like that over it, and he's meeting with
his giant helmet's like on
yes,
the table
exactly.
next to him.
His giant motorcycle helmet is on the table. He's in his motorcycle gear, exactly. His trike gear. Thank you very much. He has a trike, not a bi, a tri.
It's a try.
Exactly. And he's talking with a guy who looks like he's from South America. Who knows? On the table, in between them, is a small cooler, like you might take to a picnic or something like that. Paddles is sort of drumming his hands on top of it and talking to the guy, saying, well, it's fresh, I can tell you that much. You've got the 5,000?
Why, yes, I do have 5,000, but it's fresh. Let me look at this.
He says, all right, here you go. Sort of opens it up for him.
You sure this is fresh? I mean, those?
Oh, yeah.
What happened to the person that this was in?
Oh, sadly, she passed away in childbirth.
She wasn't like chewed to death or something?
No. Very healthy. Very healthy.
He kind of turns the cooler around. Why are there teeth marks in this?
Goddamn intern Nurse Boyd, one of my underlings, dropped it on the ground. It's fine though. I had it checked. It's going to work just fine, and it's going to repair itself. Really.
You're trying to pass damaged goods off to me. All right, look.
Well,
I'll give you 1,000.
1,000? At least 2,500.
No, I think you're trying to pass damaged goods off on me, and I think you could get in a whole lot more trouble if I blew up your spot. Yeah, you're gonna take 1,000, and then we're not gonna talk about this anymore, and we're done.
I have a daydream of me like taking the filthy germ-ridden handkerchief that's in my pocket and just like stuffing it in this person's mouth, like ah. And then I sort of snap out of that, back to the scene. How does this end for me?
It's going to go a little while.
It goes positively for me. I look at this person across the way from me, and I say, I will eat the rest of this kidney right here in front of you unless you pay me $2,500 right now.
He leans back and is like...
And I hover my fork like over it.
I'll pay you...
Just throwing it out there.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's ending well for him, right?
Yeah.
I know. There could be a daydream. Just throwing it out there.
Well, no, it's your decision on how it's going to end well. I would say, do you want him to pay him?
Yes, I think it ends well in that I am.
You walk out of there counting your money.
I think it ends well. No, I like the way it goes. That it ends well in that we part ways without like it blowing up in my face. I don't get the money, but I don't get found out either.
Yeah,
Like the guy's like, "Fuck you, I'm out of here. I don't even want your kidney now, anyways. I don't want your chewed on kidney, anyways."
All right, yeah. He leans back and it's like, "This is outside. This is outside the norm. You are nuts. I'm done here."
And I ain't doing business with you again either. And he sort of storms off. And I think
He just leaves the kidney at the
I
table.
think he takes it with him. No, he takes it with him. Yeah, just has it now. He's just trying to get rich with this. He's find another buyer for the kidney.
As Paddles is walking out and kind of storming off, and he's got this cooler in hand,
Yep.
Boyd and Sarah are like storming down the street because Boyd texted Paddles earlier and got the deets that he was like doing the trade-off at this like margarita joint, right?
Yes.
So
It's like a short walk away.
It
yeah,
is.
it's like
near
very,
the
it's
hospital.
near the
Of
hospital.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, and we see his trike out, so
did
we already
trike
know
over.
that like he's still there, and he's kind of like getting close, and Sarah's like clacking of her heel or her like
Very sensible footwear.
flats that happen to make noise. Her like clacking, stomping along, and she kind of like screams out, "Hey, Paddles, we need to talk!"
And I look up all guilty.
And she kind of
And it's
like,
like,
and they like kind of rush over. And in this process, like you can see like there's already some people kind of like watching this go down because like nothing happens. This is a really small town, so like they're really interested. And like there's like the little patio where like people are drinking, and they're like, "Ooh, what's happening over here?"
Yep.
And so Sarah kind of like storms up to Paddles and is just like, "What's in the cooler?"
My lunch sandwich.
Really?
Yep.
Because we're missing a body, and I want to know more about it.
That's terrible.
Boyd,
Terrible. I'm hugging it. I'm hugging it so hard. I'm hugging it. I'm hugging the cooler so hard to my chest.
and this is when Sarah kind of finally is like, "I'm going to see if Boyd will actually be on my side." Turns to Gunnar and says, "Hey, you're the one who told me," and kind of like rests her hand on him, you know, which hopefully gives him a little bit of that like courage to stick up for her in that point, and says, "Help me out here. I really need your help. We need to be able to like, you know, find this body and do right by this family."
Well, I don't know. I mean, Paddles. Should we come clean, man?
Don't you? You need this money just as much as I do.
I don't know. I mean, is it right?
What money are you two talking about?
I guess you're right.
We can cut her in.
Not a bad idea, but maybe you're right. I have to say, I owe some money, owe some debts, and I saw a quick way, just like you did when we first started working together. Is this so wrong?
What do you mean quick money? I wasn't making any money. My goal was to help those women. I was paying you for your help.
Like I said, quick money.
So
What are y'all talking about?
I'm really confused.
I know I'm confused.
I feel like we're all confused.
Well,
This scene ends,
I was
this
like,
scene
how's
ends
it going?
positively.
Yeah, so apparently it's going
ends
positively. All right. So initially, Sarah kind of daydreams for a moment at this
Yeah.
point in time.
Yeah.
Like, she really kind of wants to kick Boyd's ass right
Yeah.
now. Like, she's pissed that it wasn't just like knight in shining armor-esque, like, take over this fucking thing and get rid of this bullshit for me. Like, Boyd has been like clearly trying to like be friends with her for a while, and she gave him this opportunity, and she's angry. So she like kind of like has this moment where she's just like, fuck this, and like just is like pummeling him with her like clacking shoes, and is like stomping a little bit on him, and like she's feeling good about it. And then, you know, she snaps out of it when she overhears like this whispering about like what's been happening, and she overhears Paddles telling Boyd about the abortion clinic, and Boyd's reaction, she just hears a gasp.
Well, There's still time. God forgives.
And Sarah just like cackles out loud like this is the most absurd thing she's ever heard. Like,
and I say, but the chief of staff doesn't.
look, I don't give a fuck if you sell that kidney, but we clearly need to find that body so the chief doesn't notice it missing. Isn't there something we can do?
We're going to have to put our heads together on this one, gang. How do we get this kidney back to the hospital? I feel like this is a good time. I feel like that's a...
All right, so we're going to use the soft aftermath on this one.
Soft
aftermath. So we roll just like we would on a normal aftermath. So I'll read mine first. So my soft aftermath with a +3 is shameful. You are the toast of the town. If by toast you mean laughing stock, and by town you mean entire fucking world.
All right, I got -11. Mystical. There's a photo of you in the dictionary next to the entry for lucky bastard. You have it all. Success, an excellent reputation, love, friends, security, you name it. All that and probably a jet ski too. All right. Mystical.
All right. Got a white 4, +4. Wretched. Sure, you fail, but everybody fails. You fail like a complete tool, and it's pitiful.
Okay, so on to our aftermath. Let's see. Cut to the boiler room, and the two of you, like arms crossed, standing over Boyd as he pulls out like mattress after mattress.
After mattress.
And he finally pulls the right one out and cuts it open. Damned if it ain't a man's body.
He finds a different body. That's awesome. Okay. So we cut to more mattresses now piled up around us in the boiler room, the man's dead body on our left, and us cutting open the mattress to finally find the right dead body with the mom in it. And she sits up. She's all dead. She's like has her kidney gone. Like she tack bleeds. She's perhaps undead or some virus. Who knows?
So when we cut to about a week after this, and Sarah's in full psychosis in the psych ward because she watched this happen and is so traumatized as a physician who just like cannot imagine anything mystical in the world happening.
So Boyd's like, it's a miracle. It's a miracle.
Perfect. Yep, perfect.
Seen a miracle.
Just a beat afterwards, the woman stands or sits up rather, almost like if something very important to her is missing, and she just sort of stops moving and sort of dies, and ichor comes out of her, and she just sort of shrivels up and just falls over. And gets ichor all over
the mattress.
All over the mattress. Yeah. All over everyone because she sort of explodes. So we're all covered in ichor.
So around this time, the chief of staff walks in
and
sees this happen.
Yeah, that sounds
and immediately takes this all out on Sarah because she's the doctor. She's the highest of the three and has decided that this is the thing that's gonna get her fired.
Oh.
So she's let go.
Boyd is putting on his tie, standing there in front of the observation window, and when the woman from Child Protective Services comes in from the system, says, can you point me to the child? And Boyd's like, I can, but before that, I'd like to talk to you about how responsible I am. A responsible Christian.
We flash forward a number of months as Paddles is like opening up the newspaper, and we're seeing splashes of a pandemic that's been going across the world where people are sort of rising from the dead. It's how it's just started recently, and he's like shaking his head like,
So as Sarah's in the psych ward, she has kind of like this like daydream-esque epiphany. And she's so like out of it that she can't tell everybody. But the thing that is like coming to her is that there was a problem with the patient that they had, the one that germy handkerchief was related to, that germy handkerchief. And she had questioned what was going on with the patient because there was something weird diagnostically happening. And she's just realized that might be patient zero for what's happening worldwide. But then she goes right back into psychosis.
Brutal.
Boyd walks into the chief of staff and says, "Listen, I want to adopt that baby."
I was waiting on that one.
But they say I need like a letter of recommendation. Can you help me out, Chief? That's when the chief just hits a button on his desk and security comes and grabs Boyd and drags him confused back out the door.
I think the final montage scene for Nurse Paddles is monetizing the surgery to take out the kidneys of these creatures that are rising from the dead. It's the only way to kill them.
So by the time Sarah gets out of the psych ward, she's lost pretty much everything. And the one person who shows up to make sure she's doing okay is Boyd. And she's completely reluctant, but she just like falls into this super uncomfortable security of being with Boyd.
You just see them like reading Bible passages together.
Or arguing about it. Who knows what? Yeah, constantly.
Why do my characters always wind up in like psychosis or like weird death? This is clearly my fault. Like, I don't know. It's like clearly where my direction goes all the time.
This was a weird one, you guys. This was.
It always gets weird with me in the room.
This was. Not even spooky. It was more like just macabre. It was more of a dark humor, more of a gallows humor session, wasn't it? True gallows humor session to some degree.
All right.
Well done. That's Fiasco.
Nice.
Awesome.
With that, our story ends. We will return again with a new tale to spin to dare to entertain. I was one of your players, John Holt. You can find me on Twitter at Lord Joho and on Instagram at board_ghost. And you can listen to my other podcast, nudyshow.com.
Woo, new to you.
Ken, where can people find you?
You can find me, Ken Breeze, all over the interwebs. I am at Burling's Beard, BERLINGS Beard. At Twitter, Instagram. I've been doing some Twitch streams lately, and I've got my blog out there as well.
All right, Tiffany, our guest, thank you again for coming on.
So great to have you on.
It's always a blast to be playing with you. Where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook at Tiffany E. Cook. So yeah, please feel free to find me and reach out.
Cool.
Woo.
Lovely playing, y'all.
Thanks.
To learn more about the players and the engine in our story, please visit boardghost.com. You can attempt to pierce the veil and contact us on Twitter at BoardGhostWorld. Shout out through the ether if you have desires we can fulfill. Please leave reviews and comments on iTunes, your preferred listening portal, and take a moment to subscribe so you don't miss out on the latest episodes. We'd like to thank Pat Couples for our theme song and interlude music. You can find more about Pat at patcouples.tumblr.com or on his band's page, hotelsandhighways.com. If you're not alone in the void, share our stories. The more they are consumed, the truer they become.
Dying, don't agree with me.